So from doing screen printing, decorating for other people, and I decided to build my own brand, Thrifter. But what is it? It's more than just building your brand. It's putting yourself out there a little bit more to for people to recognize you, people to trust you, so that you're able to build and sell your brand. Um, One of them is this hat. This is not a hat that I did for a brand. Um, I did it more for my podcast, for the Big Dog Hustle, more for entrepreneurs, people that are hustling every day, trying to, get ahead of this rat race. I live in Southern California, Los Angeles to be exact, and everything is getting expensive, and sometimes, you know, you gotta do that hustle. You gotta, there are different ways to hustle. Hustle is for me, not like back in the days. Hustle is more for me trying to build this brand, getting t-shirts branded with my logo, pants, not pants, not yet, um not making my own material, but using another brand for my brand, um choosing quality premium shirts, crew necks, sweaters, for people to wear, everyday life. And you know and the reason I built Thrifter was my daughter had a project, and she put the word thrifter, and she wanted in a different urban style font. But I was like, why thrifter? And she was, well, because I like thrifting. I like going to the thrift stores, and I like buying, inexpensive stuff, versus going to the mall and buying one pair of pants and one pair of shirt and spending over $100, when I could have that same $100 go to a thrift shop, and I'll spend with 5 pairs of pants and maybe 10 shirts, a sweater, a belt, some shoes for $100, or maybe even less than $100. But a lot of the clothes that they were looking for were more uh, like retro, versus the clothes that they have now. They didn't like any of the clothes, so she did this thrifter, and then I helped her with the logo, and then I just kept thinking about that logo, and then I kept thinking, I'm like, well, maybe we should build a brand of ours. And so that, I'm just making this video because I'm just, having these conversations with myself, and I want to try to record it so you guys can kind of like get where I'm going with. And a lot of the things, a lot if you check out my other videos on YouTube for master screen prints, I talk a lot about tips and tutorials, and how to decorate apparel, how to start your own t-shirt business. Moreover, I teach people how to, profit and price their shirts accordingly. That's one of my biggest struggles when I first started, is pricing. When I first started, I was pricing so low that people, and a cousin of mine was even telling me, dude, you're messing up the industry. You're charging low. Like, it's like you building a house, and you have these general contractors that charge 100,000, and you have these other people that are not contracted, and they're coming in and building a house for 10,000 in those words. But so he was telling, and he's a graphic designer by trade. He does a lot of screen printing for like charter schools and stuff like that. He does some designs for big corporations and companies, and also individuals if they hit him up. And but one of the things that I want to get better is at talking. Sometimes I kind of wander off to where I'm going. Sometimes I hesitate. Sometimes I have like, sometimes I when I'm talking, I have like this I sound like I have a my God, sometimes it's like the words don't even come out. Sometimes I feel like I have an accent, and maybe it's just, I'm gonna say it's partial, because sometimes I stress so much that my jaw gets locked, and then sometimes when I'm talking, like my mouth kind of slurs. And I got COVID one time, and then a friend of mine came visit, and we were talking, and I was talking to him, and he's like, "Dude, what the hell's wrong with you?" And I was like, "Why?" He goes, "You're talking slow." I go, "I knew it. I even told my wife." I go, "Dude, can you like, am I speaking slow? Is my speech?" And she said, "No." I guess my wife hasn't really noticed, but my friend noticed, because I haven't seen him in quite some time, and he was telling me, "Dude, like," and I knew something was wrong with me. And I over the past, since COVID, I've had 5 panic attacks, about 5 panic attacks, and then 3 of them ended up in the hospital. It's just the stress from work, personal, and but also doing, I wasn't so much doing screen printing, I mean videos. The first one I did was in August of 2023, and I did it with Reyes. I did one video. I did it with Reyes, and we did how I made $10,000, and I explained it to him, and you know, it does pretty good. It did pretty good, and I think it still is getting a lot of views. But then I wanted to do more. He did another video for me, because we did 2 videos that day. I wanted to do more to keep up the momentum, but then I just fell into depression, and then I didn't start like really getting into what I was getting into until like, I think April of 2024, and then I just started doing more videos. And then I was having issues with my computer, so I started shooting all kinds of shorts, and I was trying to make them as small as I can, less than 3 minutes. And then some of them I try to make them then less than 1 minute and 30 seconds. So I try to keep it at that level. So, you know, and I try to make it interaction. So I tried using AI as much as possible. And you know, sometimes you get very busy, you want to make videos, and then you don't end up making videos because you're just going crazy, you're designing, you're making the shirts. So I didn't make any of the videos that I was doing shirts for, or for whom. But what I end up doing is doing AI and kind of replicating what I was doing, but I wasn't showing too much of what was done. And yeah, and yeah, sometimes when you're doing shirts for some people don't like it. If they tell you, hey, you know, take that video down, then you have to respectfully take it down, especially if it's their design. But if it's something that you designed, and we'll talk about this on another time, because I do want to get into designing and what I've learned, and that's just something that I have to know as a decorator, as a screen printer, and but I want to get more used to me speaking, because I have to. People not need to know who I am, not need to know, but they need to understand where I'm coming from, and the life I've lived, and the brand that I'm bringing in, and who's this brand for. And I'm trying to make something like Gucci, like Prada, but something that feels good, something that's premium quality, but at a lower price for people to afford. But not only for, I want to bring it for more for the people, like in my area. People want to look good. People want to look a certain way. Want to buy fashion, but not with the tag. And but if I buy a cheap shirt, then that's the price I'm gonna put it at. I'm gonna put it for $10. If you see these people selling shirts for $10, but and some of these people that are selling $10 shirts, I know some of the people, and I know they don't have a wholesale license. I have a wholesale license, and I try to keep up with it every quarter. Excuse me. Every quarter I get an email from the state of California saying, for me, it's that time, it's almost due, and I go in there, handle what I need to handle. And so people that usually don't have a seller's permit, they end up buying the shirt at a regular cost, $6, $10, and for them it's cheap. And then they'll sell the shirt for 15 or 20, because that's how much they get it. I get my shirts for $2, $2 or $3, depending on the for not cheap shirts, but let's say some pretty good quality shirts that I use for wholesale. And the most of the shirts that I use are Gildan. Gildan has some pretty good shirts. Some people buy, man, I bought this shirt for $40, and I swear to God, I was telling them, what brand is it? And they didn't know how to tell me. And I was like, what's the feel of it? And anyways, I gave them the money. I think it was like $45. Then they gave me the shirt. The design was excellent. I love the design. The shirt, man, it sucked. So I'm trying to, serve quality. I got this beanie from this very known person, and I bought the beanie and I bought a shirt, and dude, it was like the cheapest beanie and the shirt I could have ever bought. I was so pissed off after I got it. And if you're learning decorating apparel, I would recommend that you go to the Impression Show once a year. It's in Long Beach. If you're not around the area, you could always look them up, Impressions Expo. And they go Atlanta, they're in Vegas, they go different areas. But I see a lot of people that go there, that go to these shows, and they're from all over the country. They're from all over the state. They come from Oregon, they come from Washington, they come from Detroit, Chicago, And it's awesome to see how everyone does different things. And you even see this guy that he does travel screen printing, but and some of how he does screen printing, and it's awesome watching, everybody how they do business, how they operate. And I have a little setup. I do everything from my room because I have I have a little place. My house ain't that big. Sorry about that, guys. I always tend to go a little bit more than what I should, and I always have to try to train myself to stick to the topic, to what I'm talking about, and not go beyond that. Like I was saying, I'm really trying to start this brand, and I'm hoping that you guys follow me to my journey and see how it goes. And check out my website, Master Screen Print. So I got a few. I will be adding more. Right now it's tax season, so I'm gonna be busy, but I'm gonna be putting more crew necks and hoodies on there. So make sure you guys check them out, and I don't know, stay tuned to see what's next, what Jose's got to bring you guys. And if there's anything that you guys recommend, anything, if you guys already have a brand and you guys are successful, hey, leave comments. Like, I want to learn as much as I can. I want to be able to pick up from you guys. A lot of things I've learned, it was YouTube. I just don't want to get so consumed watching YouTube how to build a brand. I already know how to print. I know how to design. I know where to get designs. I know how to make designs even faster with AI. But I don't know, guys. Let's tap in, subscribe, leave comments, and any suggestions and any advice to you guys. Peace.